everybody, and welcome back to Rebook. And it is Thursday, and you know what that means. Yeah. It is time for the TNA focused episode of the week. I am your lead color commentator for TNA Wrestling, the Drama King, Matthew Rehwoldt. But of course, I'm not alone. I got the boys in tow. We got GB. We got Jake. We actually did the singles this time. If you watched our show yesterday, you know what that is, Jake. That looks good.
You look good.
You're great.
You got it. You got whatever you needed to get
all
there.
the
You got it.
flyers.
All right, cool.
You're clear.
You got
You're
it.
clear.
We are going to dive into everything going on in TNA. And again, also if you watched our other episode on AEW, we discussed a little bit, like a lot of the companies are in a bit of a rebuilding, resettling stories and stuff like that. I feel like TNA is in that zone too, post Rebellion. But gentlemen, how we feeling today?
Overall, damn good, because we talked about a lot we talked about it a lot on the Wednesday show. Go watch the Thunderbolts. We're just gonna shill for Disney.
Well, watch the show. Watch our Wednesday show.
Watch our Wednesday show,
and also watch
exactly.
Thunderbolts.
Exactly.
That's the takeaway. Jake, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Had a protein bar ready to roll.
Ooh.
It is time to take a look at this week's TNA narrative notes. Again, like I said, we're going to breeze through a lot of this because we're going to get to the meat of our subject today. Because again, TNA, it's in a little bit of a rebuilding period, or like just again, post-rebellion. We're building up new stories, but there's a couple I'm going to hit on here. Mike Santana, just like the headline says right here, not much more to it. He's made it clear Mustafa Ali is behind him. Incredible match they had at Rebellion, but now, as he's always been since returning here, eyes are on the prize. TNA World Champion. I could definitely see Mike Santana as a world title holder. I think this year. I would not be
I would say the same thing. I would say the same thing. I feel like he is on a really good track right now, and it just depends on who that person is. Is it going to be Joe Hendry? Because that would be pretty fun to watch. But I don't know. Like, oh man, will they go that route with two good guys, fighting for the title? I mean, anything's possible. You never know.
So again, we'll just keep an eye on that. We know Mike's focused on that. That's pretty. He literally just got a promo and said he's got his eyes on the title. That's kind of where Mike's at. Yep. But so these next two are where I would like to maybe spend a minute or two on each because it was interesting. Leon Slater, you guys were there at Rebellion.
Yeah.
I was there too, by the way. And Leon, they pulled off or tried to pull off an interesting finish, where Leon Slater grabbed the X Division title from the Ultimate X and dropped, but right as he hit the mat, Moose speared the title out of his hands. He didn't, like a football thing, didn't quote have possession,
which I kind of liked. I like that. I thought that was kind of cool.
No, I wanted to get if you guys
possession through the catch, Des Bryant.
So there's been a lot of we don't talk about I know, like internet and everything like that, but like there's been a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of hullabaloo made about it, of like, boo, he should be champion, this didn't work, blah blah blah. But people aren't talking. I do want to get an opinion from you guys, because on our live episode last week, if you guys did see, they did do a little bit of a instant replay, slow it down kind of thing. And I'm gonna I'll come right out the gate here. He was not perfectly executed.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, he would have like caught him out of the air, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but that's such a hard thing to time. It wasn't perfect.
But also that makes it kind of better.
But I will give credit.
Fits for Moose.
Yes. And I will give credit once again to Leon Slater. Because even we were watching it in rehearsal, and the kid is like, I made sure I dropped that belt. And because he did. It's again, it's not ideal. But when you look at it, it is pretty damn close to where you want to make that argument, you could. How did you guys feel watching some of the other angles and footage back of this? Does it work? Does it not?
I think it works. I think it works. And this isn't because it's like, oh, the TNA show. I want to be very clear here. Like, if it's something critical that doesn't work, we will say, it doesn't really work. But genuinely, and My mentality on a lot of this is always like, hey, you kind of just roll with the punches, right? It's live entertainment. And as a person who works in live entertainment, pretty much has done that my entire career, shit happens. So, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That being said, it's about how you roll with the punches. What I liked was that Leon Slater didn't have possession. And so it was the ref's call ultimately in the end. Was it the right call? Was it the bad call? You know what? Doesn't matter. But now you got something good here, because there's one thing that was the most important aspect of that match at TNA Rebellion, in my opinion, was that Leon Slater looked like a star. Leon Slater was the guy everyone wanted to win. Leon Slater will become the next X Division champion eventually. Like, this is going to happen, because he's got it. He's got the factor, he's got the look, he's got the charisma, he's got the skill. He's obviously going to work a little bit more on, like, being the character of Leon Slater. But, like, watching this man in the ring, I actively seek it out. I want to watch his matches. If Leon Slater's wrestling, I'm watching his match, because he's that damn good. So I think no matter what this does is just reaffirms that the audience and everyone wanted Leon Slater to win that match. Well, sounds like you got yourself a great main event at Under Siege. That's my perspective.
Yeah.
Jake, our resident football guy. Instant replay, work flag on the play on this one.
All that was really missing from that moment was Santino Morello coming out and tearing both of his quads, because this was our 2005 Royal Rumble moment with TNA, where it was a simultaneous elimination.
Yeah.
That's almost kind of what this was. So I think it works. Leon Slater can go and say, Moose, that close.
Mm-hmm.
That close, buddy. That title should be mine. And then, all Moose has to say is, hey, it's the results are finalized.
Whoever leaves with the belt,
I don't
leaves with the
give
belt.
a shit how close it was. The win column has one checked off for Moose.
Mm-hmm.
So they both have this great claim going forward. And I think that this could start a really cool story.
Yeah.
So I almost think it worked out better than if it had been this, than if it had been executed perfectly. I think that this almost plays into their hands even better.
Yeah.
Because it is organic. It's just an organic conflict that can arise from this. So it's, so I think it's
that.
great.
I don't think there's anything wrong with channeling something that's like, IRL, in this situation, right? Like people like it when the kayfabe and when it's a work and a shoot and it all kind of blends together. You know what I mean? They like that stuff. So like, and also, man,
especially when it makes sense,
and it makes
sense here.
Yeah.
The result either way is still the same. I think it just puts more controversy and casts more doubt on Moose and makes Leon Slater look even better. Mm-hmm. So I think the whole thing, I think it is benefited from this. I think it will benefit from it. So yeah, I like that it went the way that it did.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see personally.
Because let me tell you, as a football guy, you start getting replay officials involved in wrestling. You don't want that.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
You don't want that.
I felt like we're gonna have
wrestlers. Soon we're gonna have wrestlers throwing a flag to say, "No, review that. Review that kick out."
I'm gonna tell you what I would have done in that situation if I had the power, if I was the show caller. I would have given you a telestrator, Matt, and I would have I would have had you been like, you see, he let go of the belt right here. It's final, and you're just drawing a mad circle over it.
If people wouldn't have screamed and cried, well, Pat McAfee already did it.
Yeah, which that's stupid because
John Madden did it before him.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And I do it every week on our show. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Single on me real fast. I never do this. If you are one of those people who's like, they did it in WWE, so they can't do it in TNA. Shut up. You shut your dirty whore mouth right now, okay? We don't want your crap, all right? Because, no. Just because someone else does it means it can never be done again? How does this? How do we live in this world?
I would love to see. I think you've set yourself up like almost like even you could do like a miniature, really, really mini. I'm not saying it's the same thing at all, but like a mini of like, remember like Daniel Bryan world title chase where he keeps getting screwed over and over. Have him have another chance and something like that. And
bro, Leon Slater bringing down the system would be such a sick story,
dude. It's great.
Like,
we'll see.
The young upstart, the star of TNA, brings down the system. Oh, dude, come on, man. That's a Tom Hannafin line right there.
The youngest X Division champion ever. Oh,
it's all there. It's all there. Just
take my money.
Yeah, I'm in.
But speaking of taking some money, maybe some blood money.
Oh God.
Coming up next, Steve Maclin. This is the other one I just want to hit on for just a minute. So Steve Maclin, he had his match. He won the international title. This story back and forth with Eric Young has been going on for a while. They have not let him go. They didn't let Rebellion go. They jumped him on the live episode of Impact, the Northern Armory. Eric Young whooped him with that chain again after they attempted to hang his ass at Rebellion. There's another word you could use for it, but I'm not going to use it because it'll probably get us demonetized. But what they attempted to do, with that around his neck from the ring.
Like Marty McFly in Back to the Future 3, just strung him up in front of the clock tower.
Yeah, yeah.
But what this has resulted in is this coming week on Impact, it's going to be an international title match, a rematch between Eric Young, Steve Maclin. But that chain's involved, boys. It's a dog collar match.
Oh, gosh.
And I gave you guys a little unfortunate preview of a pic I snapped from the taping. And I'm sure it's not hard if you really want to Google the spoiler. But it's going to get brutal, boys. You guys excited for this one?
Yeah.
Or apprehensive, maybe?
Apprehensive, because if there's one thing I have learned from watching TNA, look, AEW does some hardcore, and that's fair. But TNA, with the Sami Callihan, Mance Warner match.
Oh, yeah.
I expect this to be wild. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm even more bummed now that we didn't get to go because I've never been to a live crime scene before. So that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Irvine. I wasn't going to Irvine though to watch another man be real time. I don't know. I don't know if I can stomach that. Oh my word.
Yeah, it's I can tell you, from my experience there, it is a brutal one. It is a testament to the work ethic of both men, but it's a gnarly one. But we'll see what happens with Steve Maclin and the international title. I'll breeze through these next couple. Victoria Crawford, who we saw pop up the last couple of weeks, is here in an official capacity now. Brought Robert Stone with her. Robert Stone brought her with him as they laid out the challenge. Apparently, Robert Stone, we're going to get into more of this in our main topic, but has gussied up to the execs at TNA and has a little bit of sway here now and has already laid out that Victoria Crawford, the former Alicia Fox, will end up facing Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts World title. So we're going to see her play a big role there, but also not only that, saw a little bit of a character development from Mustafa Ali. He's just kind of reacting to his loss to Mike Santana, wanting to be the man, and now just a couple more screws loose for the political figure / cult leader. He's kind of lost his
tie was undone, his hair was loose.
So the physical manifestation of that, just kind of like losing control.
I do want to say on that, I'm really excited to see what Mustafa does he really has such an inventive way of thinking about like his wrestling, his character, and everything he does. So I'm very excited for this. But I tell you, he's one of those other ones where it's like he needs gold, man. He needs to be a champion somehow, some way. And I could see a couple maybe vulnerable individuals sitting around there, like maybe someone who just went through a big old dog collar match, maybe being right for the picking for one Mustafa Ali. I don't know, but I just think that like these guys, him and Santana, like need to be in title pictures somewhere, and they have opportunities to do it now. I think.
I don't disagree.
Yeah,
Jake,
I think
anything on
Mustafa.
that?
I think he should continue on the path of becoming an unhinged politician. I just think he should claim that he didn't lose.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, right?
I just think he should be like, no, I didn't. No,
It works for
no,
others,
I didn't
apparently.
lose. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, bro.
I just no, I didn't lose.
It works
I
in
didn't
real
lose.
life.
Yeah. Hey,
didn't
champion.
happen.
Like I mean, like just start, just start.
I'm
just
the
start-
number one
just-
contender.
Just claim it.
He should just come out and
Yes.
just start saying he's the number one contender. That's what he should just start doing.
Yeah,
Like,
as the number one contender.
what
everybody's
is he
like,
the
whoa,
number one
whoa,
contender
whoa,
for?
whoa.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. He's the number one contender.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
I think that would be, and that will let him get like a little crazy, and then
Yes. let him get
like
unhinged.
let the administration all around him be like, hey man, are you okay? Because like you did not win at Rebellion, and then he like loses his mind. You know what I mean? Because that's what elected officials do. They lose their mind when they're told the truth.
And then he texts his plans to Steve Maclin on
Hey.
how he's going to.
Bro, I'm sorry, but are we cooking? Hold on a second. I think we're cooking right now. I think this is some fantasy booking,
think,
brother.
I mean, ironically, I think the U.S. government is cooking and just giving us fodder
Oh,
Yeah.
for the farce of a story.
Yeah.
It writes itself.
God, it
Stranger
literally
than
does.
fiction, right?
Oh dear, yeah.
No,
Ain't
no
that the
kidding.
truth?
But before we get to our main topic,
I'm
of
just
course, we
surprised
also
Mustafa didn't try to deport Mike Santana. That's the one thing that didn't.
Hmm?
Although maybe there's a solution.
Hey, Mike's got some tattoos, so and look, that's it turns out that's all you need. You don't need anything else. You just need some tattoos. So hey, off to the gulag with you, Mike. I'll see you soon. Okay, this is a good story though. I'll be honest, this is a fantastic story. I would do it.
Yeah.
Too close to home though. Too close to home.
We also saw Trick Williams from NXT rear his beautiful head. He doesn't have an ugly head. He has a beautiful head. Reared his head once again, really sticking it to Joe Hendry. Did not like the way Hendry treated him when he came to NXT all that them weeks ago. And so he's kind of clearly made it his goal. Maybe he has his eye in the meantime on that TNA world title, and at least on screwing with Joe Hendry in the long and or short term. So more developments in that one. As you see my beautiful head in there, I'm watching with great concern.
Oh, we got it. There he is. Look at him.
There he is.
And
Right
what looks like, look over in that third chair over there. Looks like there's a toddler sitting in the chair. Shout out, that is just
That's
our
Hannafin.
ringside, ringside, basically Queen Ingrid. I think she's kneeling down for some reason, but it looks like a toddler sitting in that chair.
She
So,
also
we
could
love
just
you,
be
Ingrid.
based and doesn't want to be in the shot, so she's just like kneeling. So,
Right?
you know.
Yeah, she just exactly. So,
I respect
Insanely
that.
aware of the camera presence.
Shout out to Ingrid.
gentlemen, we alluded to it before. Our primary topic is this kind of arrival of Robert Stone, who came in and is kind of immediately tussling with Santino over power. Said he's, from his character standpoint, said he is kind of warmed up to the TNA board. The officials said, like, there's been too much chaos. You've been out of control. These decisions you've made are terrible. You've got people like Masha Slamovich as a champion. She's a beast. She's unbecoming of, who should be a champion for TNA. And of course, there's the other layer of Robert Stone is the former Robbie E, the Jersey Shore fist pumping guy in TNA. So
Yeah.
he's got history here too. So
this path, this pathway from fist pumping Jersey Shore guy to, like douchebag rich dude, is also just channeling real life, you know?
Yeah, but aren't they just two sides of the same coin? He's still a douchebag either way.
Yeah, right. Just different kinds of douchebag.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right.
It's a douchebag
Yeah.
evolved. It's the second evolution. Oh God, what's the third? And then you go. I love it, man.
The president.
Yeah, I guess.
So
Oh man, dude, we are. Dude, this is great. What's up, FBI? So yeah, no, honestly though, I have mixed
struggle.
feelings on this. I have mixed feelings on this. On the one end,
Go off.
I like this Robbie or Robert Stone narrative. I like this. I think this is cool because Santino has been a fun character that has been like, you know, circling about, but under his watch, there's been an invasion of NXT. Under his watch, you know, there have been people going and leaving in TNA and doing something else, like going into WWE and fighting at WrestleMania and, you know, like losing those matches. You know what I mean? Like all these different things that I think have happened. And I'll be honest, I actually think if TNA were to explore this, I think there could be something a little bit more under the hood here, narratively, that could maybe set up a kind of contentious battle between like Robert's loyalists and the, you know, Santino crew or something like that. Because I just really like the idea of like an authority figure coming in and auditing the current manager. It feels so corporate America, but like lean into it, you know, lean into it with the silliness. That's primarily where I think what I like about it. What I didn't like was the fact that Victoria Crawford just got like leapfrogged in to the match, which isn't like necessarily a big deal. But you know, it suits the character and stuff. But it was also weird how Tessa was like, oh yeah, I like this guy, and it's like, well, this guy just like leapfrogged someone over your you know, claim to wanting to be the Knockouts champion, so you should be a little bit more
Tessa
pissed
literally
on that.
just tapped out at Rebellion.
That's true.
Right.
That's
So,
true.
I mean,
That's true.
like even she would probably know, like, crap, I've got to probably
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
go back to the drawing board.
You're right.
But it's also the character of Tessa Blanchard, I don't think would get in the back of any line. So there's
No.
there is that too. I don't disagree on the like. Jake, I know you may have had something else, but I want to pose this question to you before. Like, do you think, Jake, that helps? Do you think that helps get heat on like the character of Victoria Crawford? This kind of shotgunning to the main event and the heat on her and Robert Stone, or is it just kind of too out of the blue?
No, I think it's great to get heat. I mean, look, first of all, seeing the formerly known as Alicia Fox back
Mhm.
on my television is such a welcome sight.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
get
it is
that
cool.
out of the way for starters. She is such an underrated in-ring performer. Like she is so very good. I think that she is often overlooked as just like someone who, you know, during her prime with WWE, you know, 2015 through, you know, 2014 through 2019, like those, she was great.
Yeah.
She's always entertaining. And so, but her coming in here like this and just being given this opportunity, I I don't think it's out of the blue at all. I think it's a welcome surprise. And I think that it is going to put some heat on both of them because you know they didn't earn this. They
Yeah.
talked their way into this thing. They passed a speech check, okay, and they got themselves a title match. So that that is not going to sit well with the rest of the knockouts division, especially with Tessa Blanchard, who just, you know, had all these matches to be able to get into
Yeah.
the match that she then, yeah, tapped out of, quit, gave up. Um, but yeah, this is immediately going to put some heat on her, I think, from the rest of the knockouts division,
For sure.
and I think can really help elevate it even more. So I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see how this turns out and what we get out of this whole process. And I don't think that it's going to be a clean fight. Um, I think Masha will probably end up winning. But I could see someone from the Knockouts division possibly interfering and be like, no, why does this bitch get my spot?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Not happening. Get her out of here. And then that maybe can inject some more people into it. I could see someone like Indy Hartwell being like, well, shit, I just got here. Where's my title shot?
Yeah.
Let's go. You know, so I think it could be, I think there's a lot of different directions that they can go with it. And I think it could be really fun.
And I do want to say that the one line from Robert Stone's promo that I really liked was when he had said, like, you know, that he basically said, you shouldn't be proud. You know, you can't be proud of Masha Slamovich being your champion. And I would say that there's definitely like a little bit of the real life parallel to it. Not because Masha Slamovich, no, she's great. She's an awesome wrestler, but she is the champion that followed Jordynne Grace, you know, which is like, that was hard because Jordynne Grace was such a prolific name for TNA for so long that it was like when Cody beat Roman for the title at Mania. It was really hard to follow that up. And also, and I mentioned this a few times now, like Masha's been fighting NXT wrestlers pretty much like for a good chunk of these, you know, matches where she's defended her title. So this is great for that reason, that it's going to give Masha, I think, more of a story. And I hope what this does is that it motivates the audience to continue to get behind Masha, because, you know, it's a lot like EO, right? Where it's like, yeah, EO's not going to go out there and cut like the greatest promos in the world. Doesn't matter. She is incredible in the ring. She's entertaining to watch.
Speak louder than words.
The actions need to matter in this instance, and it is the same thing. And yes, we appreciated Jordynne Grace for the character and what she played and how she did, but it was always the matches. It was always the matches with her. So I feel like we kind of, you know, this is a great opportunity for Masha to kind of get back right to that. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm excited regardless. It's going to be good. And to your point, Jake, you know, Victoria Crawford, I mean, yeah, Alicia Fox was incredible back in the day. Like, she used to do some wild maneuvers, crazy gymnastics moves that she would like pull off, you know. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it worked a little too well, sometimes it didn't work, but she was always willing to try stuff. Yeah.
She was committed all the time. She was game to try anything and to do anything. And I think she's an incredible addition to the Knockouts division.
I would agree on that as well, for sure.
Yeah.
The other, before we wrap it up, the one thing I think too is that we're looking at here with this whole story is, because I think you kind of alluded to it earlier, GB, about that with Robert Stone coming in here, this kind of power struggle, so to speak. It's clearly him, and he's calling, and you'll see more of it again over in a little preview over the next several weeks. Like, Santino can't as much as stretch getting out of bed without Robert Stone correcting him on how to do it. Like, that's the kind of pattern we're going to see here. And so something that I like here is that Santino as the authority figure has always been very kind of funny and entertaining. And I think there have been moments where that's juxtaposed with the moment, like, you know, maybe coming out and there's a very serious main event fight and he has a funny line or two. It kind of is like a weird juxtaposition. But the one thing, him as this character, though, I think, because he hasn't really been opposed, because he's the authority figure. He's that figurehead.
Yep.
But now he has somebody butting against him. One thing we've always known Santino, like, man, when he's one of those wrestlers and characters who the crowd has sympathy for.
Yeah.
They like him. They really like him. He's not maybe the biggest, most threatening guy, but like, you don't want to see him hurt. He's your buddy. He's your friend. And you like him. So to see that threatened, I think will give us a nice emotional hook for the next several weeks of like this, especially like if I legitimately, I don't know, like, are they going to put his job at stake?
Yeah.
You know, kind of
thing. Does he like go away because he gets hurt and then Robert takes over out of nowhere, you know?
Or does he get fired briefly? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. There's a good emotional hook there because Santino is a very popular and sympathetic character.
Yeah.
And so agree. Like it'll be a nice different fold to his character to have that like, no, Santino, don't go, or whatever it is. And then maybe, you know, he can rise up and the Cobra comes back.
Yeah, that would be cool. Dude, if the Cobra, I would die if the Cobra comes
Cobra
back.
to Robert Stone, it's got to happen, right? Wherever this leads.
Yeah, all roads lead to the Cobra. Okay, that's what I think. Exactly. Yeah, love it.
So yeah, that is one of the biggest like threads that has been developing in these early post-rebellion days. But folks, beyond that, I only have one thing for this week's preview of TNA Impact, and that's dog collar match. That I mean,
man.
look, check. You're gonna stay for the rest of it, but you're coming for Steve Maclin being an absolute maniac and Eric Young tearing each other up.
Have any images gone out there of it yet? Or
I don't think so. Like I said, I took a picture. Let's just put it this way. I took a picture of the ring after the match.
Oh man.
I did kind of leak it on Instagram. I gave it as a little preview for the match. I'm like, tune in for this. It gets down, it gets dirty, it gets nasty. So that's my only preview of the week is you'll stay for everything else, but you're coming for that damn international title dog collar match. Also, make sure, again, like we said earlier, check out our AEW episode dropped yesterday. Our WWE focused episode, which previews Backlash this weekend, will drop tomorrow before SmackDown. So you're all caught up on all the stories in wrestling this week. And until the next time, folks, I am the Drama King. He's GB, he's Jake. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you